This car is so cute, you will forever be in the friend zone with members of the opposite sex. Straight in the eye and lie to us and tell us that you didn't partially buy this car because of initial D.
Nope, I did not.
If this young man, who hasn't had lots of time working on cars, can dive in and be successful, perhaps you can too. Do you think your car is alive? You can literally turn the motor over with the pistons and it will not collide into the valves. Put them down! The car is too cute. I can't stand those headlights. Miata is always the answer. So today, let's find that out. Right there is a really cool red 1990 Mazda Miata. It is actually not mine. I have never owned a Miata, but I do see their merit. Now this particular one belongs to a young man that's been a student of mine and mentored. He actually built the Burt Rutan model Voyager and some other cool things like the six-wheel go-kart. And he bought this car with his own money that he earned and did not get from mommy or daddy, which is very cool. But it is now a vintage car, which is crazy. But I can't knock him entirely, because back in the day, if you got your first car, you might have bought a Lotus Elan, which is effectively exactly the same thing. Some of the similarities of this and British cars from the 1960s are, it too tries to rust to the ground like an Alka-Seltzer tablet in the rain. So let's do a little walk around of this particular car and see why it's great. Gene is here. He is actually changing the timing belts himself. I've given him some space. His parents were cool with him buying a funky old car like this. His mom was less cool about getting a funky old car, but apparently his dad thought it was okay. In either case, he's doing a great job and learning stuff on YouTube and doing it, and I'm letting him use my tools and space to get it going. So if this young man, who hasn't had lots of time working on cars, can dive in and be successful, perhaps you can too. So 1990 Miata. It's got about 118,000 original miles. I can tell there has been a little bit of paint work. You can see the door's a little less shiny than the quarter panels in the fender. You can see things like this weather stripping here. There's steel underneath and it's sort of corroded and dry cracked and it's gone. But fortunately, if you just sort of look it over, the seats are in good shape. There's a floor mat on this one. The seats are in really good shape. And I think that when you're looking at cars, especially older cars to buy, perhaps from the 80s or 90s, oftentimes the seats are a great judge of how the car's life has been. So I know it seems silly, but if they're the original seats and they're really nice, the car may be decent, okay? Another thing I've noticed is it has been repainted. You can see that with the bumper. There is some spider cracking where it's been kind of bumped. Let's see if you can see that there in the paint. You can see a little bit of chipping and flaking there, but overall not bad. This panel here clearly had a sticker on it before. You can see that, but this will polish out and the taillights will polish out. That's good. Handles are nice. The mirrors, the paint, these can stand to be done. But if we get a good match, just some basic single stage red, perhaps from an aerosol can, if done well, will look good. There are a few issues on the hood. You can see here some clear coat flaking, which is kind of a pain in the butt. And you basically just have to mitigate it and look over it and be nice and deal with it. So this car, I believe, Gene, did you get it for $5,500 or $5 grand? $5,500 bucks. Not bad. One of the things is it's still got these stock wheels on it, okay? And actually the center cap, when he got the car, were black, so I helped him clean those up, prime them and shoot them so it looks good. And I convinced him he should just go with the stock wheels. The car was designed with them, it works well, it's still fast, it still handles well. But one of the big plus sides to the stock wheels on this, they look charming, but the tires are very inexpensive. So he got himself some brand new tires. Gee, what were they, like 55 bucks a piece? Yeah, like less than $60, and good tread, so it works on all season, and a great platform for him to have fun with. So I do say that, especially for young men and women out there, when you stick with your stock wheels initially, the tires are probably going to be cheaper. The car was designed to have them, and they're pretty good. I know you all like your big wheels and your jewelry, but like, save the money, okay? So we move on to the interior. A little bit of paint, stuff that can be done here. Now, this car, an early one, does not have a factory roll bar in the rear. The A-pillar structure is actually super strong, so in a manner of speaking, there's a lot of your roll structure, but this is effectively a vintage car. Now, this particular one had a mostly cosmetic roll bar, and its cosmetics looked terrible. It really was pretty ugly. It was this big ghastly chrome thing that went over. And the thing about that roll bar, and I left this decision to Gene, he took it back to stock and factory, and it bolted onto these hard points. and it wasn't executed well. And he's seen things on the internet that those aftermarket roll bars, in the event of an actual rollover, can bend over and basically mousetrap you. So he chose to bring it back to factory, felt that would be safer. Perhaps he can install a different roll bar in the future, or cage or something like that, if he was going to autocross it. But this is his first and only car that he got with his own money. So probably going to just really try to take care of it. Enjoy driving sporty but responsibly, and do that. So let's see what else here. You guys can check this out. Just basically, he's doing the timing belt. So you got your cam cover here that also covers where the belt is. So the cam cover seals this area for oil, because that's effectively internal engine, but then has another shield for the belt. So he had to remove a bunch of shielding to get to it. And one thing you'll notice is the radiator is still in place. Some people with the Miata suggest that you remove the radiator because it'll give you some more space to work. That's true, but honestly, there's quite a lot of room in there if you leave the radiator in. The other added bonus of that is, being the stock radiator that's a little older with plastic in it and the hoses and such, if you're going to go pull that out, there's a chance you're going to wreck your radiator or crack it. So if it's good, I like leaving well enough alone and working on this. So he's getting a lot of great experience and exposure with this, and we're going to get together. The other thing we found out is this car, in fact, is not an interference motor. So you can literally turn the motor over with the pistons, and it will not collide into the valves, which I checked very carefully by hand rotating the camshaft. So that's indeed the case. So if you do get an older car like this and you break a timing belt, it's not a disaster. It's just going to leave you stranded for a minute, but you haven't destroyed your engine. Most cars that I'm accustomed to are interference, so that's another nice reason for a Miata. You're not going to have those catastrophic engine failures if your timing belt was to go bad. And that's another good reason why you should feel a little more confidence to potentially tackle that job yourself if you feel confident. You can at least smile, Gene. You're doing a great job. Yes. Hey, can you point out some of the parts you got, or what you got going on here? What's on this table?
We have a water pump over here. We got some covers for the timing belt. This is the whole valve cover. I plan on repainting that.
Okay.
Not sure what color yet.
Wrinkle black, silver, wrinkle red.
I think red might be a bit much. I'm thinking more of a boring color. A more boring color. Yeah.
Fair enough. Going subtle. Mm-hmm. And you got your plugs here too.
Exactly.
They're not too bad. Looks a little wretched, a little oily, but the oil on some of those may be from the threads when it come out, and the seals here on the valve cover that are around. So we'll see on that. What's your next step, dude?
I believe I have to take off those cam gears and replace the cam seals. And I just got to replace a bunch of gaskets, a bunch of seals. I think that's it for now.
So anyway, Gene's doing a really good job, and proud of him for a bunch of reasons. Appreciate him being on this video and letting us do this. So I hope you guys will support him in the comments below, and his initiative, and taking the responsibility, earning his own money, finding his own car. I did get to go with him just to check it out and give a little expertise and give him some thoughts, but he negotiated his own deal and everything. So it's a real solid piece. Now, with regard to rust, because these things, like old British cars, like to try to fizz like an Alka-Seltzer tablet in the rain, there's a little bit, but it's not terrible. So when you do look at a Miata, you do want to check things like that out. You've got these small classic places here, which if you guys will remember from my Toyota MR2, I showed a basic fix of using some 415 sheet metal, so you don't have to get into lots of crazy welding and such. But if you look in through here through the wheel well, it's in pretty decent shape, and I'm gonna hopefully you can see some of this here. The underside is quite good. So you're gonna end up with a car, frankly, that's this old. It's now about 32 years old, I think. You're gonna get a little rust, you're gonna get some usage, but this is a nice car, and they can run for a long, long period of time. So he's got the new tires, he's got changed oil, that was the first thing, and he removed that aftermarket roll bar that potentially was a safety issue. So that's it. Also, the soft top's in pretty good shape. It's got one little hole in it, so we're gonna figure that out later. But that's it, guys. I do like the Miata. I think it's pretty cool. I think it can be a good first car, but under certain circumstances. So the circumstances I would say for a first car is you're not afraid to do a little bit of the work yourself. I think it's important to give consideration to look out for rust, try to avoid super rusty basket cases unless you just want a project to learn. So you have to think, what's in it for you? Is this going to be your super hobby, just like working on them and modifying and doing stuff? cool. But if you actually need a car you want to rely on, at least when the weather's decent or going places and having fun, and then when you're finished and you sell it, get the most money out of it, then you want to try to find one that at least has good bones that you can work on. This is a decent running and driving car when you got it. Just need a little zhuzhing up, a little beautifying, a little TLC. It's going to be real good. So that's it, guys. Miata is always the answer. Yeah, basically when you want something like this. Although I did tell him that, dude, for about the same money, you can get a BMW Z3 in their car. But that's neither here nor there, because that is very cool, iconic Japanese car and totally an initial D, which doesn't in any way influence his decision to buy it. Gene, I would like you to look the camera and me straight in the eye and lie to us and tell us that you didn't partially buy this car because of initial D.
Nope, I did not.
Wow.
It's just a very slow Japanese, overpriced convertible.
And that's why you bought it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the pop-up headlights?
Yeah.
Can you make them pop up now? Listen here, man. This is the Mazda Miata and it's pop-up headlights. This car is so cute, you will forever be in the friend zone with members of the opposite sex. And that's good for a young man that's going to college because he needs to study and get on with his life. Put him down. The car is too cute. I can't stand those headlights. They're not going back down? Ooh. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Really proud of Gene and his initiative. So I'm gonna get back to the regular students up front with the race cars, but hey, they went back down. What's up with that? Let's just take it as a win. Do you think your car is alive?
With these lights, obviously.
What?
It's obviously alive with these lights.
Yeah, I would say so. Okay, you know girls think these cars are cute, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that one of the reasons you bought this?
No, it's so slow.
There you have it, men. Don't buy it because girls think it's cute. Buy it because it's a slow, overpriced Japanese convertible. Yes. Anyway, see you guys next time.